Hey everyone, I'm Kim and I'm a new member of the blog. First, I just want to introduce myself before I do my first review. I'm friends with Marissa and Charlotte, and they were nice enough to let me be a part of their blog, and I'm really excited to start. I'm 14, so I'll be a freshman in high school in the fall, and that's really all I could say about me because I'm not that interesting. But, okay, so today I'll be reviewing The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I just finished this book about 20 minutes ago, and I just need to tell you about it because it's, amazing. Well, first I should start out with a summary of the book. It takes place in Germany during the Nazi period, and that's always been a time period that I've been interested in. It's about this girl named Liesel, and when she's 9 years old, her foster mother is taking her and her brother, who I think is 6 years old, to go to a foster home. But when on the train ride there, her brother suddenly dies, and so she's left alone. So at her brother's funeral, as they finished digging the grave and the gravediggers were walking away, a book fell out of one of their pockets called The Gravedigger's Handbook. And so that's her first real book that she really has, and she learns to read it, and she just devours it, and she gets really interested in reading. And so that's the first book that she stole, and that's how she kind of gets started in stealing all these books. She meets her foster parents, and her foster mother is kind of strict but nice at the same time. She swears at them and calls them pigs a lot, but it's just kind of her way of expressing love. But I thought it was kind of interesting. She develops a really strong connection with her father named Hans, and he teaches her how to read because she never learned how, and so she learns to write and read and everything. It turns out that her father, Hans, has been forming a plan for the past few months to hide a Jew that he first saw when he was in his 20s, serving in the war. He forms a plan to help him hide in their basement, and so there's all that whole conflict with trying to hide him and make sure they don't find out about them because they would be dead if the Nazis found out. And the Jewish man's name is Max, and he's so kind, and he's one of my favorite characters because he is just flawless. He and Liesel become really close friends, and they start to read together and they share stories. It's kind of hard to explain what happens after that because then I'll just give everything away and there's no point in reading the book. But I would definitely recommend that you read it. No matter what kind of books you like, I think that you would really be interested in it. There are a lot of things about this book that make it really interesting and original. First off, it's narrated by Death, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I've never read any book like that before. Seeing what Death goes through and what he feels as he's just carrying all these souls around. The characters were also really well developed, and this doesn't happen a lot in a lot of books, but I really felt like I understood everybody's intentions and what they were doing. And it got a little confusing, but if you just read on, you would understand it eventually because they would explain it later. You always understood what their motivation was for doing what they were doing, and it all just kind of clicks after a few chapters if you're confused. This book is definitely full of surprises, and if you're anything like me, you'll probably end up doing something like this. And this is me reading the actual book, the last 50 pages. I recorded myself, and this is what happened at one point. If seeing a clip of me screaming and running around my house because of the events that happened in this book doesn't make you want to read it, I don't know what will. So in the end, I would definitely recommend this to absolutely anyone, and if you haven't read it yet, you definitely should go out and check it out at the library or buy it from Barnes & Noble or Amazon or anywhere. Do whatever you can to get this book because it will just tear your heart out and steal your soul, but it's worth it. So that was my first review, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.